Hey everyone, today we'll provide a fantastic solution. Nick, upon receiving the order, acted promptly and went to Caitlin's with his colleague, but unexpectedly found no witnesses. They ran into a very charming lady, and when Johnny brought up Kyang's name, her response was, "He's dead." "Why do you think he's dead?" "Otherwise, you wouldn't be here." "Were you with him last night?" "You should be looking for Caitlin, not me." "Who are you?" "I'm Lucy, her friend." "What?" "I want a boyfriend like that too." But Nick soon came to his senses, asking Caitlin's whereabouts, and learned she was at a seaside villa. When he saw the beautiful Caitlin, she asked, "Ken is dead, isn't he?" Her reaction immediately raised Nick's suspicions. Nick rushed to ask, "How long have you two been together?" Caitlin calmly replied, "We're just friends." She emphasized, "There's no romantic entanglement, it's just that I have some special talents." Saying this, she showed no signs of cracking. Of course, the only doubt was her lack of alibi. Big Bob suggested taking her back for questioning, but her following comments made them awkwardly retreat. The subtitles reveal, "This made the two individuals feel extremely frustrated, and following their initial confrontation, they deemed this woman to be quite a challenging opponent." Although they were suspicious of Caitlin, their investigation into her background revealed some oddities. Her assets were greater than some singers. She even had dual degrees in literature and psychology from Berkeley, and 6 months ago, she published a book about being murdered by a girlfriend. What's more bizarre is that the murder scene in the novel matched the crime scene perfectly. In the end, everyone came up with two possibilities. Either someone was mimicking her, or she was the killer herself. If it is her, that would be terrifying, because writing a book takes time. This implies Caitlin had a plan long before conceptualizing. If she's that cunning, it's not just murder. Nick and his partner bravely approached Caitlin again, and this time she was surprisingly cooperative. While waiting for her to change, Nick surprisingly found a newspaper article about himself on the table. It shocked him. They had no prior connections. Why would she pay attention to him? Even more amusing was that Caitlin changed clothes without a shred of modesty. Nick was taken aback. When he asked her about her next book's theme, Caitlin's response sent chills down his spine. She killed him. Caitlin casually strolled into the interrogation room, leaving all the detectives dumbfounded. Even more surprising was that she chose to come solo, without a lawyer. Caitlin sat calmly in front of a bunch of big men, responding to their questions with no signs of nervousness. She casually mentioned that her connection with the deceased was purely for the purpose of writing. Then, she surprisingly uttered the classic line, "I must be stupid to write a book about murder. And I killed someone just like I described, declaring myself a killer." This left all the big men speechless, and strangely, she demanded a lie detector test. Minutes later, Caitlin passed the test with flying colors, technically indicating she wasn't the killer. However, Nick had a different view since he had also successfully evaded the lie detector test. However, he could only whisper to his colleague, "The lie detector results are right in front of us." The matter was temporarily put on hold, but they felt something was off. After investigation, they found a Berkeley professor was killed years ago, weapon, an ice pick. What's more, Caitlin happened to be there at the time. What are the odds? Therefore, the police chief decided to investigate, and Nick was assigned to monitor Caitlin. He discovered that Caitlin frequently visited an old guy named Yu. To understand her network, he checked Yu's emails and uncovered a shocking secret. When Big Bob arrived, he discovered that the Berkeley professor was Caitlin's former mentor. Talk about a coincidence. When Bob saw the name Nick was checking, he froze. Because Yu had randomly died at a young age. A few years later, he smugly confessed to his crime, leaving Nick with a lot to ponder. The next day, Nick planned to head straight to Caitlin's place for a straightforward chat. But when he entered, he found a pile of articles about himself, and Caitlin casually said, "I'm basing my new book on you." Nick felt quite uneasy and quickly questioned her about the professor and you. Caitlin's nonchalant response surprisingly cleared all of Nick's doubts. Soon after, Caitlin turned and asked Nick about his past, which he brushed off, but her next comment infuriated him. She said she killed herself, which made Nick's anger burn fiercely. This matter had long been kept under wraps, known solely to his girlfriend Anna. How on earth could she possibly know all of this? In a fit of rage, Nick stormed into Anna's office, demanding to know why she leaked his secrets. "Don't lie to me. No, no," she anxiously shouted, as Nick angrily replied. "Who leaked it?